Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on The Wax at 7 o'clock. It's Monday, November 10th. I'm Caitlin Francis.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News on The Wax, and we do appreciate that, and we have a lot to talk about. But first, let's say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for a check on that first alert forecast. Because we're dealing with a little bit of rain, and is it still foggy out there too?
Yeah, there's areas of fog, and there's certainly areas of rain. It's light, maybe briefly moderate at times, especially as you get down towards, say, Middlesex County. We've seen little blips of the yellow tone, so that would mean that the precipitation rate just a little bit higher. So Durham, Haddam, in the Killingworth area. So this is all going to be with us this morning, but we do have additional chances this afternoon. So you need the umbrella at times today. You can see even into the afternoon hours, there's still going to be some scattered showers around. But tomorrow, we're first alerting you, you're going to need that thick coat all day long. Right now, it is very lovely for this time of year. Upper 40s, low, even mid 50s. And yes, there is some areas of fog out there. You can see some of that in the distance from New Haven. 53 degrees, north-northeast wind at 5 miles per hour. So yes, take the umbrella with you. You're going to need it. Do you need the thick coat today? Nah. Just, the regular rain jacket should do. And off and on areas of showers, not only this morning, but as we get into the afternoon as well. And you can see that will continue through 3 o'clock. So highs in the upper 50s shoreline and low 50s as we head over towards, actually upper 50s shoreline, and then a little bit cooler, a little bit closer towards the inland locations. And then it's all about, the cold blast coming our way. Winter-like, first winter-like taste of the season. We'll get more into that coming up a little bit later. For now, we'll send it over to you, Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. Heading out the door right now, a couple issues to turn your attention to. Let's start you off with this first alert in East Lyme. Route 161, that's Chesterfield Road, closed in both directions. We got a pole down through that area. Earlier crash in Waterbury, 84 westbound. That cleared, but you can see we do have some residual delays through this area, so just make sure that you're giving yourself some time to get through that safely and slowly. And we have a crash here. Unfortunately, a DOT camera moved a little bit away from that crash site, but you can see the delays here. This is in Middletown, Route 9 northbound between exits 22 and 23. As we get a zoom back out here, it looks like that off-ramp is closed. We've got traffic that's just crawling by because of this very active scene. You can see Connecticut State Police on scene, a couple vehicles involved. It looks like 2 pickup trucks there involved in this issue, and then a ambulance, again, fire crews there. So give yourself plenty of time to get through. Once again, this is in Middletown, Route 9 northbound between exits 22 and 23. Just that shoulder basically open at this time, and that it looks like the off-ramp is blocked off as well. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, a big update here out of Washington this morning. The U.S. Senate has passed a short-term spending plan.
This paves the way for a potential end to the longest government shutdown in history. As soon as this week, 8 Senate Democrats joined Republicans in supporting 3 spending bills that would keep the government open through late January.
In exchange, Republicans agreed to a vote next month on extending health care tax credits. It also reverses the mass firings of federal workers made at the start of the shutdown and guarantees back pay for federal workers who are furloughed.
Meanwhile, Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal voted against that deal.
Senator Murphy took to social media saying, quote, voting for Trump's continuing resolution without any protection against his health care cuts or his growing illegality is a mistake. I voted no.
Meanwhile, Senator Richard Blumenthal also released a statement saying in part, quote, my position has always been no affordable health care, no deal. I am unwilling to accept a vague promise for a vote at an indefinite time on an indeterminate bill. Millions of Americans and tens of thousands here in Connecticut forced to make the impossible choice right now about what health insurance they can actually afford. The bill now heads to the House for a vote.
Well, today is a big morning for thousands in Litchfield County who have gone without food stamps since the start of the month.
Your reporter Owen Kingsley is at the new Friendly Hands Food Bank in Torrington to explain.
Oh, good morning. The area's largest food bank moving here on Winstead Road later this morning, getting ready to reopen its doors. Now, this is a move that has been weeks in the making, but because of this delay in SNAP funding, the actual opening itself has been a bit rushed. Friendly Hands Food Bank serves more than 11,000 people per month, previously doing so out of this house on King Street. This morning, they open up in a brand new facility on Winstead Road that is about 6 times the size of their old building. A trip to Friendly Hands Food Bank will now feel more like going to your local grocery store with shelves, coolers, and carts. However, the folks behind Friendly Hands Food Bank imagined today's opening with more fanfare, a ribbon cutting, and visits from lawmakers. Today is all about helping those in desperate need. The food bank had to close down for over a week during their move, while unfortunately at the same time, many families have gone without SNAP funds on their EBT cards. Now, the food bank's executive director, Karen Thomas, tells me that at some point in the future, they will have that proper celebration. The doors right behind me open up at 9 o'clock. Your reporter in Torrington, I'm Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Also this morning, Governor Ned Lamont says Connecticut will not take back those SNAP benefits from the 360,000 people who rely on them to feed their families. In a social media post, the governor says people who receive those benefits will not lose them. President Donald Trump, though, ordered states to undo any steps they took to provide full SNAP benefits and threatened financial penalties on states that refused. Well, travelers and airlines all across the country still feeling the impacts of this government shutdown at airports.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warns that even if the shutdown ends, we will still see travel troubles continuing. Your reporter Anna Stansfield has more from Bradley International Airport.
Well, this morning here at Bradley Airport, things have been fairly smooth. You can see almost no lines at the check-in desks, basically no lines in security either. People have been in and out of there within minutes. We have already seen some cancellations on the board, though, flying to places like JFK or Chicago O'Hare, as this historically long government shutdown continues to impact air travel.
Cutbacks to flights continue at 40 of our nation's busiest airports as TSA workers and air traffic controllers go on about 6 weeks with no pay. As some of those workers choose to leave their jobs, the FAA is now experiencing a shortage in the staff they need, leading to thousands of canceled and delayed flights. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warns so many controllers are leaving their jobs, we could see travel problems even after the government reopens. So far today, about 1,500 flights nationwide have already been canceled. Here at Bradley, we don't make the list of impacted airports, but that doesn't mean we still don't see the effects. Some connecting flights are ruining people's travel plans. Others are flying out of some of our neighboring airports, but find cancellations there, driving here to Connecticut to try and catch another flight.
And now, just because we're seeing a little bit of hope that the government shutdown could be ending sometime soon, experts warn that travel troubles will continue. They want you to keep an eye on your flights in the coming weeks. The best way to do that is checking in on your airline's app on your phone to make sure if there's any delays or cancellations, you can get ahead of them. I'm your reporter at Bradley International Airport, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right now, state lawmakers are getting ready to return to Hartford for a special session starting Wednesday. They will take up a number of bills meant to increase the state's housing supply and create new rules for immigration enforcement activities near courthouses. Another measure directs state election officials to set guidelines for drawing new district maps.
Well, we're on top of breaking news from overnight in Bristol. A woman has died after police say she got pinned under her car in her driveway. This happened on Rockwell Avenue. We've just learned from police that they are not investigating this as a homicide. We're taking a look at video from the scene last night. It shows the car on a hill right next to that home. Police are still investigating.
All right, an update here this morning. New Britain police released body cam footage of the arrest of Jonathan Nanita, one of the two suspects charged with the murder of Jacqueline Torres Garcia. Police say he was found outside of a gym in New Britain before leading police on a chase in a stolen car. Officers stopped him on Oak Street, and the video shows a struggle between him and the officers before he's put in handcuffs. He also denies being involved.
You guys didn't have to do any of that, man. I didn't even do that to that girl, bro. I didn't. I'm over here trying to clear my name.
Jacqueline's mother, Carla Garcia, is also charged with murder. Garcia's sister is charged with child cruelty. Everyone is due in court on Friday.
In Bridgeport, 11 people waking up without a home this morning after a fire on Wood Avenue. The Bridgeport Fire Department posted this photo here to social media. Officials say when first responders arrived, they saw fire shooting out of the second floor, extending up to the third. You can see the damage here left behind. We're told thankfully no one was hurt. The Red Cross now assisting the 8 adults and 3 children who've been displaced. It is 7:10 here. The UConn women's basketball team continues their quest to another national championship while celebrating their most recent title. The team raised their record 12th championship banner into the rafters of Gamble Pavilion. The team and fans celebrated right before the tip-off for their game against Florida State. They won that game 99-67, and they now turn their attention to Loyola on November 12th.
The UConn men's basketball team in action tonight. The Huskies take on Columbia at Gamble. Tip-off at 6:30. Joe Zone and Aaron Connolly have everything you need to know before the game. The pregame show airs at 6 on the Wax and streaming on WFSB+.